All right. And so this morning, guys, I wanted to share something specific with everybody because as many of you as leaders get on each Monday, there after we do this Monday call, you all, you go off and you start to experience your week, right? And for a lot of us, when we're getting ready for our week, different things happen, right? Different things come in. The moment you put together a plan for your week, things happen. But when I was listening this morning, we were listening to Les Brown, and I just wanted to share a little bit about how and why my mindset is so strong to be able to make things happen, because I want each and every one of you to make sure that you are committed. Because I do a 90-day, we're looking at a 90-day run, and me and my wife put together a plan of, okay, what's the next 90 days going to be? What is it going to look like for us? And typically we know that between now and October, this is kind of the last part of the run for the year, because November hits the holidays and people take off. December, people take off, and then people wake up in January. And so we were sitting down. We've been here in DC and Maryland and DC, and we went out and we set up at a, we set up at like a WeWork type space, and we're talking about it, and we started asking ourselves some questions. And I want you to ask questions to yourself, because many times we'll start going day by day and not thinking about what we really want to create. Because I know that a 90-day run will set you up for 3 years. A strong 90-day run will set things in motion that literally will change a trajectory for 1, 2, or 3 years. And I want to challenge each and every one of you to think about that, because what I know is, in this business, a 90-day run. Why would Kirk Haran uproot from Florida, drive up north? Why would Big John, he's sitting at his pool on Monday mornings? Why would he do that? Why would somebody take and literally say, I'm going to take 30 days all in, got his wife with him, family, the dogs, everything? Why would somebody do something that many people would call drastic, right? Some people are like, well, it is not convenient. It's not comfortable. I mean, most people, when you hear Big John, you hear Kirk, you hear me, we're going around and, people say, well, I got a job, I can't do that. Or people say, well, I can't do this. There's sacrifice. I know Kirk is spending, thousands of dollars to move his mobile home RV up and down the coast. I know Big John's spending, they all have costs that they don't know what the result is. They're going 100% on belief. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about where you are. It does take drastic action to create phenomenal result. And, me and my wife were sitting there this weekend, and she says, hey, what do you want to do? Because she says, here's what I know. She says, I know 2 things. She looks at me in the face and she says, I know that Think is going to do what it's supposed to. She said, no, our business doesn't start at $100,000 a month at day one. But what I tell people is that when you're positioned in a market, an energy business, an energy market that is going to produce day in and day out, that you're going to get paid for what you start, you got to sit down and say, how far in am I going to be? Now, we know our leaders are in. When I hear about Bella and Nick, and I hear about the leaders all over the country, when I hear about our CEO committing, some of you saw your weekly checks go up. And so he's, I talk about skin in the game. He put skin in the game. The Kenny brothers, I see them all over the country supporting people. But all of that to say, I want us to get away from this idea that just because somebody's in a leadership position, the level of sacrifice is any less. And over the next 90 days, I want to challenge everybody to determine, what are you going to commit to? Because here's the only promise I have. The only promise I have is that in 90 days, at the end of the year, next year, when people start coming into this business and we're 10,000, 20,000 EAs strong, when we're 30,000 EAs strong, and the company's hitting markers, there's going to be these Monday Morning Mojo Call recordings posted, and you're going to look back and you're going to say, on August 7th, was I really in my business, or was I just here to show up for other people's dreams? Was I just here to listen to Big John talk about how he was committed, and hear Bella and Nick, and hear about all the leaders that David, who's in Israel, and am I going to keep showing up to hear about John Esposito, who all these folks who just they decided they were in and they were going to do whatever it took, and the action of delivering success does come at a cost. It requires a commitment. And guys, we were sitting there, and me and my wife said, okay, we're going to win. She says, okay, here's the 3 things we're going to do. We homeschool our son. She was like, okay, let me make sure that, you're going to need bandwidth to travel. We laid out a plan. She says, you're going to need to be where your team is. We started talking about Ohio and Texas. And she says, well, I'm going to do this and this on homeschool. We started planning we planned what Christmas, November and December was going to look like, because we said, okay, if we have 5,000 EAs in at this point, and we can get the partner by here and do this. And we started laying out the plan. And that plan was just about commitment to something that at the end of the day, we have to say that we're going to put both feet in. And in your business, I want you to think about, what does both feet in look like today? Because I'm watching our leaders commit in ways that, guys, there are leaders that won't commit in that way. On the road for 30 days. Imagine right now stopping what you're doing and going on the road for 30 days. But knowing on the other side of it was a level of success and freedom. And that's what I'm going to hand it back to Big John, but I want to close it out with this, is that folks ask me all the time, they say, Julius, you made a decision to move to Florida, and you live in Maryland, and you travel with your family. You made that decision. I said, that wasn't an easy decision. I think people see the result of it. But the reality is I could have been a corporate executive for a Fortune 500 company and been driving those businesses and growing those IT firms. But I realized that wealth was in the freedom that I get to see my 8-year-old every day. I get to wake up in the morning with him and laugh and talk. He gets to see me build businesses. He gets to experience me. I get to walk to the beach with him in the morning before he gets on homeschool. And I just decided wealth look like that for me. So the question to you is, what does wealth look like to you? What does success look like to you? And in the next 90 days, what are you going to do? I want to encourage all of you to write a 90-day plan of what your business looks like and what you're going to do, and show it to your upline leader. Get an accountability partner to work with every week to show what the plan is, because here's what I'll tell you. We're about to go on a ride, guys. And I'm telling you, that ride is going to be incredible for each one of you. And Big John, I rambled on a lot this morning so far, Big John, but I got to bring you in because, I'm watching you sometimes more than I hear you. And you got a big voice, so guys know we can hear. But I'll tell you, Big John, I look at, you and Kirk and Ed and Brendan and Jim. I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at your commitment to it. And I'll tell you, that's the kind of leadership I want to be a part of. And so when I look at a 90-day run, I'm committing to myself and my family, but I want to tell you guys, you show up. And the way you show up is so massive. It helps us all realize what we're a part of. And so I want to give you a big thank you for that. But you're on the road, man. You're on the road with your family, with the dogs and everything else. Let's talk to everybody about that. You're in it. And what does the next 90 days look like for you?
Yeah, Julius, great job as always. I love being a part of this call with you because, listen, I truly believe we can never motivate people to do something. We can never do that, right? But we can educate people and let them hear our story, because I'm so committed to this call and calls like this. Because, Julius, I'll be honest with you. If I never had this opportunity with Michael Falquist in a previous business, which I believe is one of the biggest blessings besides my beautiful family, my wife, my kids, my grandchildren, it changed my life, Julius. I was in a hamster wheel like many people are. And don't get me wrong. I had a flourishing business because I was all in on my business. I had no option for failure. My option for failure was letting my family down. And so therefore, I don't fail at anything. I mean, I will do whatever it takes once I make a firm commitment. And that's why I'm making such a firm commitment with this opportunity, is because number one, I've already been there. Number two, I know where this is going. And I think probably the most, if I had to look at something, what's the most disappointing thing about this opportunity? I'm on a phone with a lot of people, even people that are not really working the business as hard as they can. I want to get a read on people. I want to get a pulse on people. I want to know where to appropriate my time and focus, right? Because you cannot push somebody or pull somebody to do something, but sometimes there's that little digit on the padlock that's just off by a little bit. It's in between numbers. And if you can help that person unlock that padlock, and there's many people, probably many people on this call that I call are in between, right? They're almost there, but you know, they're chopping for gold. If everybody saw that cartoon where two guys are going through the cave and they're on a gold expedition, and they got the pickaxe and they're chopping. You know what? The one guy says, there ain't no gold here. I'm going to pack my tools up and walk out. But the other guy keeps chopping. And after another 10 or 20 chops, he finds the pile of gold. And the reason he found it is because he had belief it was there. He had commitment to never stop to look after that gold. And that's what we're facing here, Julius. We're facing, and I mean this, what we're involved with. Now, maybe a lot of people don't know, maybe they're half thinking it or half committed. I can tell you the reason I'm traveling and the reason I'll do whatever it takes, I'll take calls from 5 in the morning till midnight, is because I know where we're going. I just want to take the people that are committed along with me, because I've experienced this. The reason I could travel, I could go away for 6 months because I can. I can afford to do that because of this industry. Yeah, did I make a lot of money in my regular business? Yeah. It was a churn and burn. The bills came in just as fast as the money you had to chase down to pay those bills. Not here, folks. When you build this thing compounds. Because remember, we're not building a business. We're building people. And when you build people, you build a business. It just works hand in hand. So, you know, Julius, I'm a big dreamer, man. I'm a real big dreamer. And it's scary to me when I look at the numbers people can make, average people that are just committed. And I was listening to Jim Rohn this morning. Every morning I fill my head. And everything he talks about, and every one of the leaders like Les Brown, if you want to have more money in your bank account, if you want to have more influence, if you want to be a better leader, it all starts with us. We got to make ourselves better. We got to change. And sometimes that change is uncomfortable. But I'll tell you this, it's worth it. I can tell you right now, you make a commitment for a year in this business. What does a commitment mean? You don't quit your job. You get on calls like this. You find time throughout your day to set up calls with people. Start becoming a leader. Start believing in yourself. And it just starts happening. And I was on the phone with somebody the other day, and they said, John, what does it take? And I said, when you first start in the business, because you never had any experience, it's like getting in your car on a foggy morning where you walk outside and you can't see 10 feet in front of your windshield. What do? You go slow, right? You go slow because you don't know what's going to pop out in front of you, right? It's that bad. But as the sun starts burning off those clouds and that fog, you start seeing more clearly. So what do? You start accelerating more because you're more comfortable, right? At first, you're uncomfortable. And that's the way this business is. And that's why, Julius, there's so many people. I say to them, when I feel that there's something there, that they want something, I ask people, why are you doing this? And if they tell me to make money, and they tell me that first and foremost, it'll never happen for that person. I don't care how bad they want it. Your why has got to be so strong to overcome the obstacles and adversity you're going to face. And ultimately, you need to get rhino skin, the toughest skin in the world. You need to be that person that pounds their chest in the morning to start your day, right? To get your mind in the right frame. So I'll tell you what, Jewel, I've never been this excited. If I feel like a kid getting ready to go to my first Little League game, where I was dressed in my uniform at 6 o'clock for a 9 o'clock game, because I believe we have value to bring to so many people's lives. And yeah, this thing's going to catch fire. If we're getting momentum in August, which no business gets momentum. I don't care if you're a lawyer, and of course, everybody's on a physical and mental vacation. It's the people that put the gas pedal down to the floor now. And come September, October, November, to have something to shoot for. And the people that say, I'm going to stop at nothing, are the ones that are going to have life-changing. And listen, it's life-changing money. People are going to see checks like I used to see checks. And I never thought it could happen to me because I didn't know. I didn't know that I was going to be getting checks for building something over time, that all of a sudden that pendulum shifts. 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month, 40,000 a month. I didn't believe it was real. I almost didn't think I deserved it. But that's the way this business works.
Man, that and that's it. It's a business that, I say delayed gratification that lasts a long time, right? And guys, I just want you all to know that every Monday morning, I just want success for everybody that's here. And if it's moving slow, and for somebody who may feel like, hey, I'm not getting as much done, or I'm not doing as much, or I'm not as far, I want you to just keep going. I think that is what I want for each and every one of you, because when you keep going, there's something that's created inside of you. There's something that's formed inside of you, and follow. If you don't know what to follow or what to do, just play Simon Says with a leader in our team. Find a leader that's doing it, and just when they do something, you do the same thing. If they make 10 calls, you make 10 calls. If they make 20 calls, you make 20 calls. Just follow the leader, because if you duplicate what leaders do, you'll find your way. And then you'll find your way, and you'll continue to speed that up over and over again. And I want you to ask, for all the leaders on the call, it's one question you ask yourself every day. If my team did what I did today, would they be successful? Set the bar. Say, if my team, did I do everything I needed to do today to make sure that the person that I want to sponsor tomorrow can look at me and I can be the example? And that's really what it comes down to, is that, can I be the example for the person I sponsored yesterday? Can I be the example for what success in this business looks like, and each and every one of you have it. There's no difference between you, me, Big John, Kirk, Ed, Brendan, Jim, and here's the thing: is that it's just about getting up every day and knowing what your 90-day plan is. Because I love Big John said this to somebody, you have to have rhino skin. And sometimes what I say is that when your dream's so big that it doesn't matter what someone says, because every day, you got to really know. We talk about your why, and I'm going to leave you with this: is that having success, you can have rhino skin, or you have to have a dream that's bigger than a rhino. Because when you know exactly why you're doing this business, I promise you, there is no words that somebody can say to you to stop.
Yeah.
So what is that? That's it. I mean, Big John, I love it because you always say rhino skin. I always think in my mind, I'm like, man, either you got to have rhino skin if you don't have a dream that's big enough to knock a rhino out, right? So
I'll tell you what, Julius, we were talking about this gentleman. I'm going to have Kirk Coran come on, but to have Kirk not only as a friend and a business partner, he's like a brother. I mean, we traveled 7,300 miles together when corporate went live. We left Florida, left our families, and we hit the whole road show. So I think we measured it out at 73 or 7,400 miles. There's my man, Little Jay. But you know what? I wasn't stopping at contacting him. I wasn't being obsessive. I was getting on the phone and he was like, I'm busy. I don't know if I want to. And I finally said to him, brother, I don't care if you tell me no. I just want you to look at it. I want you to see it. I want you to see what I saw. And the reason I'm so excited. So I couldn't be more blessed, not only, Julius, to have you and probably most of the people on this call in my business, in my family, but Kirk Coran is a special dude, right?
Look, I wouldn't even be here if you didn't press him, Big John. I wouldn't even be here.
That's right. So Kirk, come on and close us out, brother. And I look forward to seeing you and a lot of people in Montvale, New Jersey tonight. He might.
Kurt,
is he there?
I see Big Kurt. Where is he at? There he is. Unmute yourself, Kurt.
There you go. Trying to get on here. Can you guys hear me all right?
Hey, big brother. Look,
yeah.
We always pull you on at the end and don't tell you we're going to do it. So thanks a lot.
Hey, it's all right. I might be a little, cutting in and out on you. We got a big rainstorm going on here, but another great call, guys. I appreciate everything you do on every morning call. I just wanted to add, kind of feeding off what John had talked about, that we all have these plans and you get to ready, aim, and you never shoot. And I've had people come up to me, hey, I have 200 people on my list, and they're doing all the activities, but the money making activities are making the calls, getting people to look. And one of the things that's really, I think one of the keys to success in this business is you can't have a vested interest in what they say. And what I mean by that is, if you're setting yourself up for failure with every no, you're not going to last. I think a no is not now, and I just keep them on a list and I keep moving forward. But it's about taking all the money making activities and continually moving forward, adding to your list, making the calls, enrolling customers, getting people to look, doing the three-way call. Every time I show the opportunity, I get somebody on a call. And if you're not doing that, then you're not following the system. I promise you, I'm nothing special. I just literally, I know what I want. I know how many people I want to help, and I know what I need to do to get there. And once you know all of that, it's unwavering. You just keep going. I've had people ask me in the past, how do you keep going after all these negative people? And I'm like, well, they're negative because of the unknown, number one. And number two, when I had a job, I was out of work 4 times, 2 full years. Nobody ever knocked on my door and said, Kirk, do you need me to pay your bills? So we do what we have to do until we get where we need to be. And the only way we can get where we need to be in this business is by helping as many people as we can get where they want to be. And help, one of the things I heard early on from Big John, he was telling somebody else, and I love, is if you don't have full belief, borrow my belief. Because as you said, Julius, we're traveling, we're on the road. We are 100% committed to this. And there's some, fear in doing something that you don't know the full outcome, but I know what I believe. And, when I saw this early on, I said to myself, if Big John and the Kennys are willing to follow Michael Falquist, and Brookfield Holdings is willing to invest $100 million in Michael Falquist, who am I to question any of this? I'm all in, because I know what this industry can do. And I am looking forward to seeing everybody over the next 30 days. It's going to be an incredible run. I'm heading down to Montvale, New Jersey for the meet and greet. I'm bringing my son Adam with me, and it's going to be fun seeing everybody. So I appreciate you having me on. Thank you guys for what you do.
And Kirk, thanks for believing in me and allowing me to show you this opportunity. If it, you are just a special human being, you and your wife. We get to break bread with you, vacation with you, and that's what we want to do. We want to create a community, right, of people, all walks of life in our business. That's the culture I want to set. I know you want to set, and Julius wants to set, and it's going to build, and it's going to build big. And I hope a lot of people come along with us on this life-changing journey. So if anybody knows anybody near the border of New York and Montvale, New Jersey, guys, it's going to be a bang-up meeting tonight. Get butts in the seats. If you bring somebody to that meeting, unless they got rocks in their head, they'll be in your business. So God bless all of you. Thanks for hearing us. We really appreciate that. Have a blessed day. See you tonight.
See everybody tonight. Take care.
Thank you, guys.